Welcome to the Two Tunes Podcast.
Welcome.
My name is Bo.
My name is Brandon.
And we are robots.
You're a robot.
Yep. At 104 beats per minute. Because this is episode 104!
Nice.
I don't know why I'm loud. I'm sorry, guys.
You already know this, but we're going to pretend you don't. Guess what I'm doing tonight? As we record
okay,
this.
so you know the Ed Sullivan, or maybe it's the guy.
It's Johnny Carson.
It's Johnny Carson. So I have the letter.
You have the envelope
on my head.
What was that character called?
Was it a character? Or was
Yeah,
it
was a character. He would put on like a whole head.
He'd put on a turban
and whatever.
and be racist.
What was it called? The Great.
I don't
know. It had
know.
to be the Great something.
The Great Johnny Carson. And okay, so I've got the envelope on my forehead, and you're gonna go see what day? It's tonight.
He did like a whole deal about it though, and I'd be like, "Well, today is Monday," and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's Monday." So you're going to see
Thursday.
It's Thursday
and cursive.
Thursday and cursive tonight in Millersville, PA, of all places.
Isn't that like an hour away?
No, it's like 40 minutes. Not even.
That's close enough to 40.
But it's not driving like 2 hours to Philly or 2.5 to Silver Spring, which is what I'm doing on Friday.
Is it 2 hours to Philly, or is it an hour and a half?
With traffic, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, I want everybody to come to Harrisburg. Come on, Catbite. Come on, Church Girls.
Karnak the Magnificent, by the way.
Okay.
I had to Google Johnny Carson prognosticator.
So I watched a YouTube video the other day, and it's this guy who works for Vox, but he makes he's got a personal channel.
Okay.
And it's not Johnny Harris. But so the problem is he does an interesting thing, and then he the premise is interesting, but he never actually kind of finishes it.
Okay.
He's just like, here's the thing, isn't that cool? Okay. And you're like,
give me an example.
Well, the example comes from this. Uh-huh. So he's starting to do these weird political things, and this falls into the Johnny Carson type of thing.
Okay.
So one of his episodes was Bill Clinton on where he played saxophone. What show was that?
Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall. Yeah. So how it changed the election, and then it was just what you get out of it is he played the saxophone and it changed the elections, or it changed things.
Oh, so he
how?
basically
I don't know.
Says
he kind of
then tells, but doesn't give. He just gives facts and not
there's
info.
not really a conclusion.
Okay,
it's just intro, body.
Restate the intro again.
Well, no, and then just finish. And then the second one that he did, which yet again it's really interesting. He's like, how did we get to this point where Nixon was on Laugh-In and said, "Suck it to me"?
Yeah,
which I don't get either, because I was born in the 80s. And that show was popular in the 60s,
right? Late
60s. Yeah.
Okay. That
goes back to our Johnny Carson, because it's their TV shows.
Sure. Good job.
So I've been listening to a lot of country music lately.
Yeah.
I listened to. So I saw that there's a TV show. I forget what it's called. Maybe it's George and Tammy or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Tammy Wynette.
About Tammy Wynette and George Strait, I think.
George something. George
Hang
Man.
on.
Yeah.
George Strait is a country artist, but I don't know that that's the right George. But yeah, Tammy Wynette and George Jones.
So it's about that. So I was like, you know what? Because the artist that I'm talking about first.
I'm going to show you a picture of them from the 80s.
Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah. So I listened to I've been searching country, but
But real country? Not
bro
country?
No. Well, definitely not bro country.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm trying to find the country that I like. And
America. That's the country I like.
Oh, like the band America?
No, the nation.
The horse with no name?
Yeah. I've seen America, by the way.
Mean, if you just look out the window.
Actually, I also think that's a really crappy choral song. I've seen America. Anyway, the Hershey Amphitheater, which is in Hershey Park, which I don't think really exists anymore, but they used to bring in some kind of bands and different things, people that kind of past their prime, and I have definitely seen America there. So go ahead with your story.
So I just go to the the genre of country, and then I was like, well, what are the essentials? Because I also was like, I want to listen to pop essentials, thinking that they wouldn't exist in the last 10 years.
Oh no!
Thinking it would be past like, it'd be like early 2000s or late 90s or 80s, and it's like, no, they're all like they came out yesterday.
Yeah,
I was like, how is this an essential? I don't need to listen to the new crap. What is it? I can't even think. What came out recently? They're basically ripping off a Pink Floyd cover, where one guy's on fire, and the other guy's not. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Can't think of what it is.
Pink Floyd? You mean it's basically just old people music?
Yeah. Did I send that to you, or did you send it to
I don't know.
I think I sent it to you. We're talking about TikToks here that we send each other, because that's become our life. That is our relationship. Is we will send TikTok to each other, and hopefully, when they see our TikTok, that'll be the first time they see it.
Yeah,
not like
I've been getting a lot of. Because TikTok has become my like go-to app. Like I'm bored, or bored is a relative term, but I'm just like not doing anything, so I'm gonna go on TikTok for a while.
Yeah,
and I've been getting a lot from my friends who send them, including you. Sometimes this is not a knock on anybody; it's just I'm like on there too much of like people sending me stuff, and I can instantly scroll past. I'm like, yeah, I've seen it, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean I should not spend so much time on this app, so that way when you do send me stuff, it's fun.
Yeah.
And new.
Yeah.
So you've been searching out country.
I've been searching out country. I did not find them on country. I found them, Adeem the artist.
Adeem the artist.
From Anthony Fantano, or The Needle Drop.
Okay.
Are you familiar with The Needle Drop, and you just didn't know the guy's name?
No, but the name sounded familiar until you said what he was from, and then it was not anywhere. No, it did not click. Actually, opposite of clicked.
Okay, it fell apart.
Yeah.
So Anthony Fantano is a self-proclaimed the internet's busiest nerd.
Okay.
And he just like does album reviews, he was doing like tier lists for each year, like the top 10, and seeing like, oh, this was a bad year because look at all these. We'll do a tier list for these top 10. Is
it called The Needle Drop? Like
his main channel is The Needle Drop.
Is this on TikTok or?
No, it's on YouTube.
Oh,
and then he has a side account,
I bet it's on here too,
which is just called Fantano.
Okay.
But he did this like I'm like like I want to find new bands, and I want to find new ways of finding new bands.
Huh?
So album reviews on websites, on YouTube,
guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a list of like, this is what came out this week. By the way, that's hard to do, just to find, or at least it has been for me. Maybe I've not been searching. I just get like the same websites. They're like, yeah, this came out and here's our review of it. And it's like, I want a list of like everything, like what came out today, and then try to search through it, which is will be a pain in the ass.
Because even Spotify has been not as good about that, which is what I use. Of like, it just kind of curates like a.
It's like what's kind of new in the past 6 months.
Well, they'll do a pretty good job of like, this is the stuff that like just came out like today. But it's like, I want like kind of what you want. I want a list of all the albums.
Yeah.
At least, not even just singles and whatever. I want like a list of the albums, and then I'll go from there. And
the problem that I'm coming up with is they don't have a separate list of albums and singles.
Yes, that's also
So I just want, like, I want them to be separate. Like, I would love to hear the singles because those are leading up to something, and then I would love just like, well, what's the album that came out? They do have a like coming soon, which is really cool, but it's usually like top tier bands, and I'm searching for new things. Anyway, so I searched Fantano, and it popped up. He did it. Let me see. What day did he review this? 4 days ago, as of the date that we're recording this. So I listened to it. I listened to the his review, which what struck me really was that Adeem the artist is non-binary and uses they them pronouns. They are also pansexual and married to their wife Hannah. Their last album was called Cast Iron Pansexual. So all of those things kind of like, yay, like in the country world.
Yeah.
Like, let's find more of that. Because I think the last time that I had a country artist on here, they were also part of the queer community.
Who?
They went out with I can picture their face in my mind. But they went out with Reliant K.
Similar?
Yes. There you go.
Okay. Are they country? I feel like they're more just like Christian.
Oh, that was it. Never mind.
Yeah.
My bad.
They've been popping up a lot on my For You page on TikTok because they'll have like a lot of hot takes on
stuff.
Christianity in general, but also like Christian music and stuff. There was a really good one the other day about the Newsboys and about how like these guys were like listing the Newsboys as like a worship band and stuff, and it was like, yeah, they didn't used to be though, and not that they used to be like real crazy. They're pretty CCM, but they were kind of.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Just the Newsboys. Fair enough. Just like current, they are now more of seen as like a worship type band, but before they used to just be a rock band that was like Christian, like a pop rock band from like the mid '90s that was Christian. Okay. And they were just talking about that. It was in relation to the original TikTok that they had stitched. It's like a whole 7 layers deep here. But like the idea was that it's like, yeah, some of these bands just kind of like pigeonholed themselves because they were like, well, we're just going to keep like selling to this exact same audience over and over and over and over again. And it's going to be profitable and fruitful, but like also it's just bad Christianity. Like they're just kind of selling themselves to like the right wing evangelical over and over and over again. Like, great. That's not real Christianity. That's not real good music and whatever. Anyway, just
you've just lost our right wing conservative viewers.
Bye.
Goodbye.
There's nobody on here that's listening.
You're right. There isn't. There's 10 people who are listening, so maybe 27.
But I mean, like, anyway, we'll play with this dowel.
They're still there. So this song is called Books and Records.
I have 2 dowels. Yes.
What do you think it's about?
Selling all your books and records and hopefully buying them back someday.
You're right. Exactly. It's about being poor.
Yeah.
And it's country. But it's a good country.
Yeah, this is the kind of country I can mostly get on board
It's
with.
not talking about tractors and trucks and beer and stuff. I didn't even finish my Tammy Wynette story.
Nope. Oh, I thought that was the story. It was just I saw this thing, made me think of country music. I want to listen to more country music.
I listened to Tammy, like one of her records, and just like all the songs are very mild about like it seems like
about how shitty her husband is.
Yeah, pretty much 100%, which might be that.
It is.
Yeah, is that the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, I don't know, I won't pretend to be an expert about this, but like he was not great to her, but I'm pretty sure like maybe they weren't great to each other. They were probably like a bad couple.
Okay.
But they were also like country's like power couple for like a long time, I think.
Oh, well, there's first marriage, second marriage, third marriage, which George Jones, short-term relationship, and fourth marriage, final marriage. And that's just her. Yeah, just like glancing at this, it's very much.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they were both probably kind of toxic.
Well, her fourth record was called Divorce. Oh my God, this is like. Oh, it was her first record. It was her first record that I listened to.
Oh, okay.
It was her first record. This is hilarious. What is it? But there was a song. Oh yeah, Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad.
Oh,
was one of her songs, and it's basically saying, it's like, hey, you know, you're going out on the town every night. Mm-hmm. Is that what you want? Mm-hmm. And it's not like saying like I'm single and I want you or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like you're my husband.
Yeah.
And you're going out there. Oh, you want a bad girl? I'll be a bad girl.
Yeah.
But not in a sexy way.
Well, or not in the way that you want necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'll be a bad girl for somebody else, or I'll be.
Well, no, it was for her.
Okay, fair
it's
enough.
Just it's weird. Or don't come home a drinking with loving on your mind. It's like
I've heard that song.
Don't come home drunk.
Yeah.
To me, and all like the whole thing, the whole album is just like that kind of mindset of just like.
Stand by Your Man on there.
Is that her?
That's her.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's not on her first record.
Good cover by the Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, by the way.
Okay.
By Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Yeah.
They do
a
good cover.
Anyways, we're going to talk about Adeem, the artist, which, by the way, he's got merch. You're right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
they have merch that's like I forget, the Merchist, maybe, I think is what they called themselves. So like Adeem the Merchist.
Oh, nice.
And then like they have shirts that'll say like Adeem the Fool and Adeem this and Adeem that or whatever. And it's like that's cute.
I wish it would be more like Spaceballs and be like Adeem the shirt, and Adeem the hat, and Adeem the album. That would be amazing.
That would be. But like on the shirt it had like the Fool.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, here's Books and Records about selling your stuff to pay the rent.
Oh, this is funny, these shirts.
That's not it.
Nope.
It's this one. Classic country, but good country.
This shirt is a bee astronaut, and it says Adeem the Beastronautist.
For the past 2 years, the rent keeps getting higher. And the neighbors all have cars we can't afford. I'm working 2 jobs now, and brother, I stay tired. But we could always stand and make a little more. The way it goes, we might not be here by December. We both know there's gonna have to be a break.
3/4 in the truth.
Yeah, this is the country. Country has never been one of my favorite genres. It's usually the one I'll skip over.
Yeah.
This is hitting it for me, though. Like, this is more like what I would be into or have been into when I hear country.
Yeah.
It's a little too twangy for me.
Okay.
Like, I think if I listen to it more and more, I'd either get used to it, probably that. But off the bat, it's a little more like, that's a little too twangy for me. But musically and stuff, I really like it. And lyrically.
After this, I'm gonna play another song.
Okay.
That's even more bro country.
Okay. Is it by them?
It's by them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Is this their only album?
No.
They have a
they've
bunch
got
of stuff?
so many albums.
Okay. I was just in the merch store, and that's all I saw.
6, 7, 8 albums.
Oh, wow.
3 EPs.
Okay.
And a ton of singles. One of their Christmas tracks from last year was "Merry Christmas, Urgent Care."
Both been learning how to cook our suppers cheap. Stretch it out until we get paid. The way it goes, I doubt we ever will retire. But the cast iron will be seasoned well by then. If we're lucky, we'll have moments by the fire. Put a record on and read a book again. We've been selling off our...
They don't have a lot to say about it.
No.
I don't know, it's just really, it's a good, solid song. I could like put this album on like while I'm doing stuff too. Like,
yeah. I think it's a good record, like start to finish. And like, there are some country songs.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna play a snippet of.
And this is like folky too, like that folky country.
Yeah, I can.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's some parts where I kind of hear Bright Eyes.
Oh, uh-huh.
In the vocally, just like it's gone.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
There's a guy I like a lot, Tyson Matzenbacher, who I'll talk about at some point in the pod. You just potentially might buy his album for me.
Yes, that is
true.
But
he's an artist where like if he went a little, he could go this way real easily. He kind of rides that line of like folk and pop and stuff. And if he just threw in some steel guitar or lap steel and twang, he'd be here. Instruments our grandparents played. We've been selling off our books and records. The word instruments and the word records gets me a little bit. But again, it's fine. I think I was reading in their bio a little bit about seventh generation Carolinian or something like that.
There's a song on here called Carolinian or something.
Okay.
It's Caroline or something.
But also you think like the Carolinas are the South, but also like I think also more Appalachia.
Yeah.
Which explains, more of the influence here.
All right. This song that I'm just going to play a little bit.
Yeah.
It's called Run This Town.
Okay. About how we going to run this town.
Into the ground.
Oh. Cool honky tonk.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, how do you get elected? Well,
Gonna start with city council. Aim for Romeo seat. Slowly make our way to the county till we got
and it's a blues.
I've been spending my time designing signs, wearing ties and high-profile galleries. We gotta run this town. We gotta run this town.
So, like, that's kind of like that's the gist of the song is that they're gonna run this town, and then straight into the goddamn ground.
Nice.
But we're gonna run this town.
Yep.
And it's like, gotta get ourselves a friend in the sheriff. I'm gonna learn his mama's name. Get my way into the pocket of the cleric. Lord knows they got a lot of spare change.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's clever.
Yeah. And then another song's called Baptized in Well Spirits. And it's kind of like playing this middle ground between like, I mean, I don't know how factual some things are, but like their uber religious mother, but like then their alcoholic dad. And where do they go?
Yeah.
Like in between.
Neither one's necessarily a great spot. Interesting.
Good lyrical content there.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah.
You may have hit me, or you have hit me to a
new artist,
country artist that
Adeem the artist.
Yeah, I might dig into a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's worth a listen.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're not your typical white straight male, red trucks and tractors and country.
Yeah, cool.
Let's talk about real things.
Mm-hmm. Talk about My America. 4
Chords and the Truth.
Yeah, My America is one of the tracks on the album, by the way. Are you checking?
I am. I don't believe you.
Checking.
No, it's the last track.
Yeah.
Yep. Your turn.
All right, my turn. I don't know where I found this artist.
That's always cool sometimes.
Yeah.
When like you find them and then you forget where you found them.
Because as I said, I'm going to see Thursday tonight, but that's not that far away. But Friday night, I'm going to see The Starting Line in May down in Silver Spring.
M-A-E, May.
Yeah. It'll be my third time in like 2 months going to a show there, which is kind of cool. And I've never been there before a couple months ago, but it's a little bit of a drive. It's like 2.5 hours. So I wanted to make like a little playlist. And so I was going through first just like my liked songs on Spotify. And like one of the top ones was this song. And I was like, well, where did I find this? Where did this come from? So I must have seen it. I would assume on somebody on Spotify posted it, or excuse me, somebody on Instagram posted it. And I just like went to Spotify and saved the song and then was like, yeah, I'll get to it, which is sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. So I got to it and I was like, oh shoot, this is good. This is like really good. And then I went and listened to the album like immediately and I was like, I really like this as well. This is great. So I was not familiar really with this artist before. Noga Erez, I'm going to say.
Okay.
They are Israeli.
Awesome.
So Noga Erez is the best I'm going to come up with, I think. This is from her second album, which is called Kids, which is released in 2021. And I'm going to see if this is one of the singles or not. It is. It was one of the singles.
Was this redone? Because you had emphasized to me that it had to be off the album.
So she's got some like remix stuff and other things. I just had sent it to you and I was like, hey, just make sure it's off of this particular album. Mm-hmm. And then something else I found, because I thought this was kind of interesting, is that so there's Kids Against the Machine, which is just like I'm not really totally sure what it is. It's just like a different version of this album or some of the songs off this album.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going to make sure like it was the right one. What was I going to say?
I do not know.
Oh, so there's this other album that's on Spotify under theirs and it says latest release. It's from 2022. And I was like, oh, cool. It's from October. And then one of the songs on it is called End of the Road. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this is like another kind of like, well, that's the name of the song I'm listening to. But I was like, oh, I wonder if it's kind of like a play on that or whatever. But here's the thing. The artist is actually listed as Noga Erez, E-R-E, without the Z.
Okay.
But then the album artwork says Noga Erez with the Z. So I like did some quick Googling or whatever, and based on like a discussion post I found on Reddit, I think this is just somebody else. And they just like made a name that's pretty close to her name.
Oh.
And so it also got like lumped in with her on Spotify.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, so I think that's what's happening, is that somebody's basically just trying to like get listens based off of her name. Because it does not sound like anything really like, and maybe it is. Maybe it's some just random thing that I don't know, but like everything else I found does not.
The cover doesn't match?
No.
Okay.
And that's the only song that's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all it is. So she also has recently done sort of a remix version of a Weezer song with them, a song called Records.
Oh.
She did like a version with that.
Did you hear the new Weezer song?
No.
I Want a Dog?
No.
It's a great song.
Okay.
It really is.
We'll take your word for it. And then she also just did a remix, or did a song with Missy Elliott, which is out. So yeah, so she's kind of blown up. She had a song featured on an Apple ad a few years ago too.
Okay.
But yeah.
I thought they were an unknown the way that you were talking about them.
I mean, unknown to me till like this weekend. And now I'm like all in.
Well, I just wrote the name, the first name, and the second, and like the last name came up. So immediately.
Yeah. So this is End of the Road. This is like a middle of the album track.
Every time that you say
End of the Road, I keep
thinking End of the Road.
Well, they also have a song on here called Views. So do you think of Drake?
No, because I don't listen to Drake.
A song called Kids. Do you think of the thing from...
I think of the movie Kids.
Okay. Do you think of the song from Bye Bye Birdie?
No.
There's also a song called Candyman.
Bring Me a Dream.
A song called...
That's Sandman.
Knockout. Do you think Mama Said Knock You Out? All right, let's play the song.
Oh, where are you? Here we go.
Can we get some more subs so he can feel it?
Can we get some more what? I don't know. Subs? Yeah, subs so he can feel it. Oh, like sub frequencies. Yeah. Not sandwiches. Okay. Oh, there was a... crap. Okay, it'll come in. So I have no like comparisons yet. But Kendrick Lamar. Right
I can hear that.
There.
She's listed as, I think she has listed him as one of her influences.
Yeah.
Flying Lotus, Thundercat, like some groups like that. She fits in this cool world of like dancey pop stuff, but also like a little like hip hop influence and different things. I think trip hop is one of the listed genres for her.
Okay.
This is one too that like, I don't know how many times I listened to this in the last like 4 days since I found it, but like every time I hear it, I'm hearing something new.
That's always cool.
Yeah, because there's so much production in this.
I don't think I heard this in headphones, but every time that I do listen to things, when we're in this process of doing this, I hear different things, which means it's these headphones that I have. Not sponsored by
AKG.
AKG K.
Turn your head. K240s.
K240s. They're not, I don't want to say, they're good headphones. They're just like clean headphones. Like, and I always go back to Beats because Beats, like, what were the big thing at one point.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if they are anymore. But Beats emphasizes the bass. Like they tweak the EQ of the speaker specifically to give you more bass.
Yeah.
Where the headphones in this room are there to try to give you absolutely no coloring based on
Just
the headphones.
deliver exactly what's there. Yeah.
And that's because they're more like studio headphones versus, and they're also open back. The reason I have them is not to listen to music. It's for other reasons.
Yeah.
So like, oh, and I got a new pair of Apple, the Apple Pro 2. ApplePod Pro 2.
Nice. We just talked over that entire song.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, go listen to it yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, it's some really cool stuff. The whole album, like I said, is really, really great. It says she only has 2 albums. She definitely has more. At least other things that are album-like on Spotify. So there's the Kids Against the Machine, which I gotta learn what that is.
It's probably a remix thing.
I think so. Kids Against the Machine. Like, it might be like just stripped down a little bit more.
Did you listen to it?
No, I did not get there.
Well, there you go. You gotta listen
Kids
to it.
Against the Machine. It came out in November of last year.
Is it a?
Looks like most of the same songs. Series that Ori Russo and I started. Oh, this is a quote from her. The Kids Against the Machine series that Ori Russo and I started. So Russo is a name of somebody that's featured on some of her stuff.
A sampler synthesizer.
What?
It just says that they play sampler and synthesizer.
Okay. We mainly did for fun, a way to challenge ourselves. We wanted a chance to show each other and our fans that these songs could be reimagined without our electronic productions, without our signature electronic productions. So Against the Machine makes sense. So they're not using the machines. And
it's
stuff.
more of like a live setting
For those who want more of the organic, woody, and brassy sounds of things. So let me just real quick, let me find this tune from that album. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a lot less
stripped
production.
Down. Yeah, that's cool. Let me add this to my liked albums because that's fun. But yeah, the other thing that's listed is Off the Radar, which is her first album. But then there's also Radar Reworked, live with the Israel Camerata Jerusalem. So
Okay.
that's cool that she's like, hey, here's this. I'm bored with that in a way or whatever. I'm going to do something else with it or do something more interesting. She also did a cool cover of Industry Baby by Lil Nas X. So yeah, she's pretty great. I want to hear more stuff from her.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's also not what I was going to play today. I've had like 3 or 4 songs kind of like in the chamber, like ready to go.
Yeah,
And then I just heard this and I was like, ooh, fun. I don't want to wait to talk about this. That's like the blessing and the curse of this podcast is like when you find something, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to talk about this. And then it's like, but we're not going to record, or we've already like recorded 8 episodes ahead or whatever.
like you want to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
There's
it.
a little bit of that. But that's also okay. It also means we have more content.
So this is our last episode of the year.
Of the year of 2022.
Yeah.
The year of Bo's Lord 2022.
Yeah.
And that Lord being Rupert Cuomo.
And he wants a dog.
Apparently.
But he made a mistake.
Yeah.
He just wants a dog.
Are we going to talk about the other thing?
The thing that we're going to do on Wednesday?
Yeah, well, when's that coming out?
Well, I shouldn't say Wednesday. It's going to come out on the 30th.
Okay.
Unless you want it to come out on the 31st.
Yeah, it should be the 31st.
Okay. So we're going to maybe start doing something annually. Maybe. Depends on how it goes. It might not even get released. We don't know. It could totally go sideways, but we're going to attempt to do a year-end kind of thing.
Year-end review of the podcast.
Of the podcast, not of... Well, I guess, we can like talk about whatever, but like it's mainly about what we listened... what we've featured on the podcast.
Two Tunes Podcast, the year-end review, if you will. Yeah.
But
like a bonus episode also.
Yes, so it will be released on the 31st.
God willing.
Possibly. I'm looking at a calendar.
When's this episode coming out? The 27th?
The 27th.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, so the 31st is a Saturday.
Basically what I'm worried about, and we're going to talk about this on air, is that the 31st might be on a Tuesday at some point.
Okay.
So it'd be like...
okay. Either way. We just have
like the last Friday of the year, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah. Next year, the 31st.
Is on Tuesday?
Is on a Tuesday.
Nice.
Which means then we can't...
Is next year a leap year?
I don't know. No, because it's every election year is a leap year. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, so next...
So we would just do it on the first or something.
Sorry, 2024 is on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
not
what I'm talking about.
2023. 2024 is on a Tuesday.
Okay.
We'll figure... Like, that's 2 years from now, so who cares? We'll figure it out, because I don't know. We'll talk about it.
We'll figure it out.
In 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Because it's going to be fine until 2024.
Yeah, but then it doesn't have to be the 31st. It can just be... Then it can be the 1st.
But then it would be the 3rd, maybe. Or maybe it could be the 1st. I don't know.
Doesn't matter, dude. You're overthinking this.
It's the first Wednesday. It's the 31st, unless the 31st is on a Tuesday and it comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or the Wednesday after the last day of the year, or whatever.
The day after the night before.
So when does it come out? I don't know.
That's the thing.
All right. Anyways,
cool. Find us on the socials.
Yeah.
Share, like, subscribe,
and
tell
have a happy New Year.
That you know.
May y'all.
Cool. See ya
next year.
Yeah.
Bye.
Nerd. Bye.